2026 Toyota Corolla Cross has been updated, and in this video we are going through the changes, but more importantly we're also going to take it out on the road to see how it drives, and in case we got something special toward the end of this video.
That's right, Toyota set up a little dirt hill climb as they described it. We'll see how much of a hill climb it is. So that means we're going to be able to thoroughly test out this updated Corolla Cross.
Now for 2026, there are a number of changes. Starting with the styling, we've got revised front and rear fascias, which kind of freshen up the look of the car. But my favorite feature about this particular Corolla Cross XLE is the color.
Yeah, bright red. It's a really pretty color. The other color we've seen that we like a lot is called Cavalry Blue.
Yeah.
And I find that pretty appealing. And the particular model that we're looking at right now is a gas version, and you can tell by the grille on this car, which is different from the grille that you get on the hybrid models. And I think the hybrid is better looking.
So the hybrid has kind of this flush-mounted body-colored unit with these little honeycombs. The gasoline version's got this chunkier nose here with these bigger hexagons on the front end of this Corolla Cross. One last thing I want to say about this color. I think you used to own this color.
Yeah, that's true. I had a Mazda 3 hatchback.
So this is a Mazda color. This is Crystal Soul Red. And the reason that this car has a Mazda paint is because this is built alongside Mazdas in the US production facility in Huntsville, Alabama.
Absolutely.
Now you know. But yeah, as a whole case, I think you're absolutely right. The hybrid front end does look a little bit different, and I think a little bit better. The standard gas version here has a lot of kind of this black plastic cladding throughout.
Yeah, so to me, that doesn't look quite as sharp as the more premium hybrid model. It's going to be one of the other big differences between this and the hybrid. Gas cars are not standard all-wheel drive. They come standard at the base level front-wheel drive. You can spec them to be all-wheel drive, like this particular one that we're in.
Yeah.
And if you get the hybrid, you're going to get more power as well. So here in the gas version, 169 horsepower. If you get a hybrid, 196. Plus, you would get extra fuel economy with the hybrid as well. This, they say, gets as much as 34 mpg combined on a gas model, where it's more like 42 mpg combined on the hybrid.
Yeah, and if you get this one, which is an XLE all-wheel drive, realistically combined, you're going to be about 30, and the hybrid, 42. So the hybrid really is an impressive performer for fuel economy, and actually the gas one kind of underperforms a little bit, I think. 30 mpg combined for this all-wheel drive gasser. It's not quite there. One other thing I want to point out, which is wild. So 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder dual overhead cam, that kind of thing. Look how thin the recommended oil is for that fuel economy. 0W8.
Yeah, that's an interesting oil.
Unbelievable.
It's not one that I've seen around.
Yeah, so this is mated to a CVT transmission. Look, it's not an eCVT. If you want like that planetary gear set, that's what the hybrid has. This is a more conventional CVT. And then as Case mentioned, all-wheel drive is optional. Now the interesting thing about the pricing is fully loaded XLE to pretty much a fully loaded XSE hybrid is going to be about a $2,000 difference. So Case, for $2,000, would you get the gas version with the uglier front end, but save some money, but get worse fuel economy, or would you get the hybrid version?
In the long run, you're probably going to save more money with the hybrid, depending on how long you plan to keep the car. So I would go hybrid for sure. I think it's a better transmission setup and better fuel economy and more power.
But one advantage to this guy is it does have potentially a more robust all-wheel drive system because it's got a drive shaft to a more conventional rear diff, where the hybrid system has that weird hybrid thing where it's got the E-motor on the back. So there's pros and cons to each, and we'll see how this gas version does off-road here in a sec. But Case, why don't you open up that door? Let's show them the inside.
Yeah, one thing I appreciate about this car is that it actually does have a two-tone interior, which is cool because in this more affordable class of economical crossovers of this size, you don't necessarily expect to see that much luxury and effort put into the interior and the design of it, but having a two-tone between black and this light brown, it's actually really nice.
This is a new interior color for 2026, and it is phenomenal. It is kind of this brown, light brown, dark brown, depending on how you see it in different lights, but it's a really premium feeling seat material. And this, of course, is an XLE, so we're going to be kind of near the top trim here. And some of the big changes for 26 are the technology.
Yeah, so they've made a few nice updates. On this more spec'd out model, we've got a 10.5-inch screen in the center and a 12.3-inch gauge cluster. If you get a more basic car, you would have a 7-inch screen in the gauge cluster as opposed to what used to be on the base cars a 4.2-inch screen. So they've upped the size even for the more entry-level trims. And if you don't have a model that gets you this big 10.5-inch screen, then you would have an 8-inch screen. But even on this bigger screen, I do think that the bezels are on the large side, so it's not the most futuristic looking piece of tech.
One slightly annoying thing about this, there is no volume knob. Instead, you get volume buttons, but you do get dual zone automatic climate control, which is awesome. And then this one also has some nice cold weather group stuff here.
Yeah, so heated steering wheel, heated seats up in the front, which is pretty decent.
Yep, a wider kind of more user-friendly center console for 2026. Wireless charger here. It looks like it should be dual, but it's technically only one. You got a couple of big cup holders, and then here you've got some more charging and a fairly small center console.
Yeah, and then this model has a 9-speaker JBL audio system with a subwoofer. In the trunk, the standard is a 6-speaker.
And if you care about safety, Corolla Cross has a lot of standard safety gear, adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring. All of that is really, really good stuff. And as a whole, very user-friendly, very comfortable interior. This one does have the convenience group, so you do have a sunroof, fairly small sunroof, and it also has a power liftgate out back.
Yeah, and that's about a $1,200 option.
It's pretty pricey. Yeah, I'd probably skip the sunroof and power liftgate, but if you're really into it, it is an option. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat on this Corolla Cross. What do you think of these 18-inch wheels, Case?
I don't mind the wheels, a little bit of contrast in them. They don't stand out to me in any massive way, but I think it matches pretty well with the rest of the car.
Let's move some camera bags here.
And Tommy's got his film camera with him.
Heck yeah, dude, gotta get some of those candid black and whites of the Corolla Cross, you know. Pretty good room back here. Legroom's a little bit compromised for folks over 6 feet tall. This is my driving position at 6 feet, but headroom is quite stellar.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they do give you vents here in the back seat, which is not a given on a car around this price point.
Yep, and then let's see, we got center armrest down here with dual cup holders, and then you do have a map pocket back here. And then lastly, let's go ahead and check out the trunk space in this Corolla Cross XLE all-wheel drive. More chrome on this one than I probably would like.
Yeah, the hybrid that we were looking at earlier had blacked out badges, and that looked pretty decent. We do have a spare in this model though, which is nice.
Yeah, so space saver, the hybrid doesn't have a spare, which is a big win for the gasoline version. And then the seats do of course fold, split fold here, left.
Oh no, your film camera.
Oh no, and then to the right. And then of course you do have your view blocker here. But the nice thing is the seats fold pretty much nearly flat. So for hauling your camping gear and stuff, that's pretty doable in the Corolla Cross.
Yeah, and they say about 17 cubic feet of space in the trunk with the seats folded up, and about 44 with them folded down. And like we said, this one does have that power liftgate with the convenience package. Again, I would probably save the money on the sunroof and the power liftgate, and spend that little bit extra to get the hybrid instead.
And I know this looks a little bit more rugged, but the question is it? Let's go find out. So interesting thing about the gas version versus the hybrid is the gas one doesn't have a drive mode selector. So there's no sport mode in this bad boy Case.
Maybe it's in sport mode all the time, Tommy.
Let's find out. And not convinced it is.
Yeah, so look, it's not a car built for winning drag races. I think that's pretty obvious. But 169 horsepower is perfectly adequate in an economy car.
Yeah, it's good enough for getting you around. And then with this CVT, it does simulate shifts and no paddle shifters, but there is a little option to kind of downshift manually, so you do get kind of that simulated shift experience. But I think where this car shines, it's actually a very quiet and refined place to spend time. So if you're looking for a long road trip, even at 55 miles an hour like we're driving right now, it's very quiet. You don't get any road noise and hardly at all from the tires. It's just a very refined experience.
Yeah, it would be an easy car to commute in, and that's really the point.
Yeah, for sure. And steering is perfectly adequate. It's nice and light, not a lot of feedback, but it does feel like you've got good control of the car. The ride quality is very, very well dampened. It's not too firm.
Yeah, and really good visibility out of the car as well. There's a lot of glass, good sized mirrors, so that makes it an easy car to drive.
That's a great point. And look, this is a really competitive class now, the small crossover segment. Vehicles like the Subaru Crosstrek, the Honda HR-V, the Trailblazer, maybe the Bronco Sport-ish, depending on where you're looking price point-wise. So there's a lot of vehicles that are competing for your dollar, but this is just a very comfortable, refined place to spend time. Toyota has set up a hill climb here, kind of crawling up this little mountain to demonstrate what the Corolla Cross can do. Now, obviously, this is not intended to be a rock crawler or even a light-duty off-roader. It's got very limited ground clearance, it's got street tires, it's got a continuously variable transmission. But what we're finding here is it does have enough low-end torque for this relatively steep climb. So we're maintaining 5 to 10 miles an hour, and it's clawing its way up. It's doing pretty darn well. And what I come back to again is just this ride quality is superb in this Corolla Cross. It's really well dampened, of course, 4-corner independent suspension, but we're having no issues navigating our way up this hill. Now, it'd be really cool if Toyota committed a little bit more to maybe like a skid plate, maybe a set of all-terrains, right? Maybe recovery points. I think that would be the next level. Maybe they have like a tier D off-road Corolla Cross or a woodland version like they do with the RAV4. But for just, you know, a little city goer, this is going to be good enough to get you through your snow to your commute. It's going to be good enough to get you down a dirt road, maybe to get to some of the cool campsites. And yeah, we pretty decent little climb here. We haven't had any transmission overheats, no issues like that. It's just chugging its way up. Well, there you have it, folks. I think that this is a great little commuter. If you're looking for a little machine to get you to and from school, to get you to and from the office, do some grocery shopping, maybe haul the kids around, this is a great option. It's not particularly exciting. It's not as off-roady as a Bronco Sport. It's not as affordable as some of its competition. However, as just an all-around, well-tuned, comfortable package with a good radio and decent interior volume, Toyota once again proves why they sell so many Corolla Crosses. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you think you get a case for helping me out on this one, and we'll see you in the next video.